You're going to see the hands a little bit lower and deeper. You're going to see me keeping my height though. Before I'd get a little bit more up and down and my head would go down. More rotated at impact, so more shoulder turn at impact. I'd been thinking about it for a while, you know, in 2013, and then went to the British Open at Muirfield and just wasn't really happy with the control I had off the tee, off the green, into the greens. And, you know, obviously around there it just got shown up. It was a firm, fast course, and if you were a little bit offline, it was going to go even further offline. And I just left that tournament missing the cut, just feeling very down about things, and felt like if I was going to make a change, let's make it now. It was a very tough decision for me. Pat Goss was my swing coach for 16 years throughout college, and obviously took me, you know, got me as a lot better player, got me to #1 in the world. A lot of people would ask, you know, why on earth would you change your swing? As good as a player I was, my record in the majors wasn't good enough. I hadn't given myself enough chances to win. I felt like on tough, very tough, demanding courses, I couldn't get the ball in the fairway enough and get the ball on the green enough to be competitive. I think tee to green in majors is very important to be successful. And that was really the prompt for the change. Obviously, being on tour, you're familiar with a lot of the coaches and kind of their theories and what they stand for and the players they teach. And I think that was a lot to do with, at first, I approached Sean Foley. You know, I'd spent quite a lot of time playing with Tiger, playing with Justin Rose, playing with Hunter Mahan. I was very impressed with their long games. You know, I think tee to green, those guys, you know, are as good as any in terms of controlling trajectory and just being impressed with their long game. And so I approached Sean, and Sean had just taken on Lee at the time, Lee Westwood, and didn't feel like he could give me 100% commitment to what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to work hard at this and spend a lot of time on it, and I understood that totally. And he recommended Chuck Cook to me, and Chuck was, you know, one of Sean's mentors really growing up. Chuck Cook is someone who's been around a long time. He's approaching 70 years old. He's taught 11 major winners, I think, during his time. Including Payne Stewart, Tom Kite, Corey Pavin. Grew up studying Hogan and watching Hogan swing, and you know, everyone's enamored by how well he swings the golf club. And so I met with Chuck at the PGA, and we started working, and you know, just straight away I enjoyed his spirit, his demeanor, and just what he stood for in his swing. I felt like it was what I was looking for. I think Chuck's a great guy. He's got a lot of great stories about Hogan, and you know, he's just fun to be around with. He's always smiling and laughing, and yeah, he's, you know, but he's diligent as well, and he cares a lot about his players and that they improve. And you know, if you play badly, he takes all the blame on himself and thinks that his fault that he's not conveying what he wants good enough. And you know, I think that's a nice side of him too, that you know, he takes part of the blame on his shoulders, and you just feel like he's there trying to really help you. And you know, and I think because of that, we get along really well. For me, the first thing for me that I wanted to do was get the club deeper and keep my height a little bit on the backswing. So that was really the first part of the process of change. Then I needed to really minimize the amount of my hips moved forward and back laterally. And then the last bit of the puzzle, which is kind of where I am right now, is just getting my hands to not rotate quite as much past impact. So, you know, it was a kind of a 3 or 4 step process, and certainly, you know, 3 out of the 4 I'm doing pretty well and consistently. The 4th one is what I'm concentrating on right now. While we were learning these, there wouldn't be too much regression, that I would still be able to improve and not be too much of a factor. Obviously, any time you do change, there's so much more thought and thinking going on in your head that it makes it hard. And, you know, obviously for a time there, my results weren't that great. Certainly, we've started to see some better results in the last few months. You know, a lot of tournaments I've been finishing top 5, top 10 in greens and regulation, a few where my driving accuracy is a lot better. So I'm excited about you know, some of those numbers and some of that improvement. And you know, we've been seeing that with the results too. Almost won in Hilton Head a few weeks ago. It's really just a kind of a belt that goes around your arms. It's just, and your body. It's just really designed to keep your arms more connected to your body. You know, I think with a swing that gets a bit more upright, your elbow tends to get a little bit further away from you. You know, in Chuck's ideal world, he wants you to turn and keep this elbow nice and in, and a little bit more when it comes down. I'm more in front of myself. So if you get it up, then you got to come down. So that's his point. So this will keep my arms nice and close and get the club deeper. The longest days would be, you know, getting up. I still have a couple young kids now, 4 and 2, so I usually get them up. They go to school about 8:15, and then I'm straight to the gym for an hour or so. Come back, change. I'm on the range about 10. I'll spend a good 6 hours going through putting, chipping, fundamentals, wedge work, and obviously a lot of range work as well. 10 to 11, I'm going to hit 8 irons and 6 irons, and I'm going to hit draws and fades. And then, you know, I'll actually plan that pretty precisely. And I think once you have a schedule and something in front of you that's concrete, then it makes it a little bit easier. But it's tough, you know. There's a lot of times I'm out there and I don't want to be out there. I could easily go home and sit on the couch and, you know, Saturday the football's on, or whatever it might be. And but sometimes you got to go obviously get past that and know it's a job, and know that there are other people out there working pretty hard, and if you don't keep working hard, you're going to lose ground. You're going to see the hands a little bit lower and deeper. You're going to see me keeping my height though. Before I'd get a little bit more up and down, and my head would go down, and then on the way down, you're going to see this elbow being more in front and more rotated at impact, so more shoulder turn at impact. You're going to see more the back of me then. And then hopefully you're going to see the handle disappear left a lot quicker. Before it would be, you know, a little bit more out, there'd be a bit more gap here. So you're going to see the handle left more, with the club face staying a bit more square for longer. So that's the idea, is to keep this blade squarer for longer and rotate around the body. Heel toe, cover left, and smash it to about 6 feet. The picture is, you know, the golf's going to become easier. You know, I'm going to have to think less about it, hit shots under pressure when I want to. You know, you're standing on that 72nd hole and you've got a tight drive and you need to nail it down the middle. That, you know, I've done so much work that my body takes over, and, you know, my fundamentals are good enough where I can nail the shot when I need to. So, you know, that's the goal. Obviously, to try and enjoy the game as much as possible. It's tough and frustrating sometimes, but yeah, I feel like I'm pretty fortunate to do what I do, and you know, I'm hopefully be out here for a while.